Hi everyone, my name is Ms Loren. This is a special dance lesson about color from Koresh Kids Dance. Today you're going to want a piece of paper and something to write with. Any color will do, but if you have rainbow colors, that would be great too. And with your piece of paper, I want you to fold it the long ways in half. We're going to think about color and draw a little bit about color, and then we'll dance about color. So you'll have a really long rectangle like this, then fold that rectangle in half, and then it looks like this. Fold that in half one more time. We're not doing origami, we're just dividing our paper into 8 sections. So then it looks like this, and then when you have that, unfold it. You'll have 8 compartments. And if you want to make them more distinct, you can draw lines. Oh. You can draw lines on the fold lines so you can see them better, like that. And then in the top left corner, I want you to write the word red, and you could do it in red if you have red. Top left corner is red. And the next color in the rainbow is orange. So immediately next to that one on the top right, I'm going to write orange. Or if you're slow at writing your letters, then you can just make an orange mark so you remember that that is for orange. Just below red is going to be the rectangle for the color yellow. Mark or write yellow. To the right of yellow, the next color in our rainbow is green. So just under orange will be a space for green. And you probably know this already, but the next color is blue. Under yellow, write or mark blue. To the right of blue or under green will be the place for purple. So now we have our 6 colors marked on our sheet, and we'll save the 2 bottom rectangles for planning our dance if we need that space later. Now that you have these 6 zones for your colors, I want you to notice that all of the colors on the left side are primary colors. Those are the most basic pigments that we need to mix any color. And then on the right side of your paper are what we call secondary colors. So orange is a mix of red and yellow together. Green is a mix of yellow and blue together. And purple that comes at the end of the rainbow in the sky is actually in paint or in drawing a mix of blue that comes just before it and red right next to it in a color wheel, but actually at the beginning of an arced rainbow that you might see in the sky. Light and pigment behave a little bit differently. And you can research that more on your own time. Right now, I want you really quickly, just a couple of seconds, to think about what things, plants, animals, or ideas, emotions, shapes that you associate with each one of these colors. And then if you have that color, or even if you don't, you'll make a quick drawing in the rectangle of that color. So for red, just think about red for a minute, not a minute, sorry, a moment, and then draw something that you associate with red. Let's take a couple seconds to do that. And finish up red. Moving on, I'm going to go in the order of the rainbow, but you could go in any order if you don't want to, if you feel more inspired about another color. But moving on to your second color. For me, that's orange. Couple marks. Moving on to your third color. For me, that's yellow. Drawing some feelings, some things. Moving on to green, or your fourth color if you're going in a different order. Moving on to your fifth color, for me that's blue. Moving on to your last or sixth color, for me that's purple. And take a moment to finish up all drawings for your 6 colors. So now you have some ideas of things that you associate with each of these 6 colors, and we will come back to them later in this lesson so that you can be inspired in your movement by what you think about in visual arts. But for now, we are going to change gears to some movement. We're going to do a brain dance warm-up inspired by color. This is our colorful brain dance warm-up. And our first color is red, the beginning of the rainbow. And for red, I associate red with a lot of things, but one thing is my breath, because my blood is red and your blood is red. And our heart pumps our blood to our whole body. So we are going to feel the breath in our lungs and feel our oxygenated blood going to our whole body. So you could do this sitting or standing. I'm going to put on some music. Feeling your lungs grow and shrink as you breathe. Breathing in, getting bigger, exhaling, getting smaller. Maybe bring that into your whole body. Feeling nourishment. If you were sitting down, stand up and wake up and stretch eases bigger, feeling your blood and your toes, your forehead. Moving on to the next color is orange. I'm going to do 4 distal pattern and think about being like an orange flower. So your petals are soft orange flower or a spiky orange flower. Moving on to yellow, thinking about the sun shining on us. Even if we're inside, we can imagine the sunlight covering our whole body. Green. I have pictures of a green here. It is a green smooth thing that actually lives in Pennsylvania. And it's opening its head up. It's long time. Feel your own sun. called sidewinder. And then these coiled around something. Like the green python. There's one more final experiment. We're going to move on to the color blue and be a blue poison dart frog with 4 legs. So come on down to the floor. Find your frog feet. Reach up your hind frog legs. Reach up your front frog legs. And your front frog legs. Right up again. And the double frog hop frog. Frog inspired you. Next we have purple. This is a pinkish purplish lizard. Lizards move with body fat. So they like to side bend. Right your body alongside like this. 4 feet like this. That's the whole rainbow. We're going to dance with arcing and diagonal rainbows. Find a place in space away from your center. Not just that's on an angle or a diagonal. Reach that place and paint a rainbow on a diagonal. Find a place in diagonal in your body. Paint a rainbow. Find another one. You can paint a place on the ground. Find one leg, over one shoulder, down towards the opposite foot, and painting arcing rainbows. Trying to use in your body to support those diagonals. And begin to float up high in the sky with the rainbow, to be like the clouds. We're going to try to be light like a cloud and challenge our balance. Maybe you even started to do that with diagonal. Can you do it with a soft, cloudy feeling? Floating away. Very nice. And let's challenge our balance with some spinning. Maybe we can be like a curving storm, spinning around. Challenge your balance one more time and then find some on-balance movement where you feel really grounded and stable. We're going to do some eye tracking. We're going to imagine that we're decorating our home or our neighborhood with rainbows or our favorite colors. So first, let's paint an imaginary fence like a rainbow, up and down vertically. Look at what you're painting. Imagine that that color is really there. Maybe dip your brush into another color. And let's have some horizontal coloring as well. You could follow these imaginary bricks from side to side. We use chalk like my neighbor did. Maybe you want to use something else. And if you want to draw some curved shapes like rainbows, you can do that too. And try to follow it with your eyes. We often draw or write with our dominant hand, so give your other hand a chance to draw and follow it with your eyes. And it can go even bigger than drawing and writing normally goes, because you're actually just drawing in the air. So you can put all that color anywhere you want in your space. And you can even use two hands. Keep painting. Beautiful work, everyone. If you have any new ideas about color that you want to add to your 6-part sheet, you could do that now. Or if you like the ideas that you had, you can leave this as it is. We're about to dance through the rainbow again, and I want you to refer to your sheet as we go. Each time we dance, I'm going to ask you how you want to dance that color, and then I'm going to tell you some ideas about how I like to dance that color. So we'll get 2 times with each of these 6 colors. So first, red. What does red remind you of? You don't need to speak, you can just show me. Show me a shape that feels red, or the shape of a thing that you've seen before that is red. Or think about that emotion that feels red and put it into a movement for your body. Great. All right, again, I told you that the red reminds me of heart, the organ of our heart, and the love that we give to our body through our heart, of oxygenated blood, but also our emotional heart that can share love out to the world and bring it back in. So for this next dance with music, I want you to focus on growing and shrinking and doing it with passion and strength and free flow, like you're made out of liquid. We are mostly liquid. Let's give that a try. Here's red.
The magic in my veins. This must be love. Boom, sound in my heart. The beat goes on and on and on and on. Boom, you make me feel good. Come on to me now. Boom, sound in my heart. The beat.
Beautiful red dances. Maybe your red dance and my red dance can inform each other as we go with our creation. Next color you know is orange. Think about, look at what you drew. Can you replicate what you drew with shape or movement? What does orange feel like? Interesting. For me, orange mostly feels quick and direct. So I also like to use my hands when working with orange. So try that with me, being fast and specific or direct. Emphasizing your clean, sharp. Very nice. Moving on to yellow. Remember what you drew about yellow? How can you put that in your body? What does yellow feel like? Nice. For me, yellow reminds me of smiley faces, like clip art emoji face. And it also reminds me of the caution symbol, which feel like very opposite ideas, like caution, be careful, and also happiness. So one thing that requires caution from me that also gives me great happiness is when I'm playing with balance, being almost off balance, almost falling but not quite, like really playing with that edge, almost off balance falling, maybe falling, but falling safely and carefully, and doing it with joy and curiosity. So can you try that? Playing with on and off balance. And we're moving into the cool colors now. Green is a little warm, it has a little bit of yellow, but any color with blue in it is a little bit cool. So what does green remind you of? What are some shapes or some movements you can do that feel green? Nice. Green reminds me mostly of plant life. Chlorophyll is green, and that's the chemical that makes plants green. And plants are almost always growing. They hardly ever stop moving. They might move really slowly, but they're always moving. So let's try to do a never stopping dance until the music stops, and then you can stop. But play with going faster and slower, but never stopping. Sometimes you feel like you're running into your edge, where your body can't grow anymore, like a plant running into a wall. Just turn your direction when you get to a place like that instead of stopping. Find a new discovery. Imagine you're seeking the sun or seeking water with your roots. Always growing, lots of reaching. Look so peaceful like plants. That's beautiful. And get ready to slow down, stop. And next is blue. Think about what you associate with blue. How can you move like blue? What kind of shape is blue? What kind of emotion is blue? Sometimes people say blue when they feel sad, but blue can also be a happy color, like a bright blue sky. I associate blue with lightness, because the sky is really just a gas. It's not very solid. And I also associate with free flow because the sky reflects on the water and makes it look blue. So blue has a lot of lightness and free movement for me. Let's try that. Nice work. All right, one more color of the rainbow. This is purple. What do you associate with purple? How does purple make you feel? How can you move like purple? I know a lot of people in our culture associate purple with royalty. I think my interest in purple is influenced by that. I often think about things that are celestial in outer space, places really, really far away. And then when I think about outer space, I remember that almost everything in outer space is turning on its axis around itself, on an orbit around something else in a spiral of a whole galaxy. So I like to play with rotation of individual body parts or of my whole body or all together all at once. And similar to green, never stopping, really trying to keep an ongoing flow, because space doesn't come to a halt. It's always moving. It just might be moving more slowly or more quickly. Let's try purple. Starting a rotation. Maybe one part of your body, maybe turning to another part of the body. You're getting tired of the pace you're moving. Try not to stop what you're going, but maybe change the tempo of the pace that you're moving at, or change the kind of rotation you're using. All right, so that was our last color. If you got any ideas from me that you want to put into your brainstorming sheet, you can take a quick moment to do that, add anything you're interested in there. And in a moment, we're going to transition to some skills that support how we relate to ourselves and our environment that can also inform our color dance. You can always pause this video if you're someone doing this at home and give yourself more time in these steps. But right now, we're going to move on to our skills that are about modes of shape change. These are Laban movement analysis words that are about how we relate to our environment. And the first one is called shape flow. And the primary relationship in shape flow is you relating to yourself. I am relating to me. And this is often subconscious or unconscious movement, but if it's conscious, like we are now, then it's usually self-soothing movement. So take a moment and relate to yourself something that feels good. Maybe you have a sore spot from all that dancing that you want to take care of. And some of us soothe ourselves in more gentle ways. Some of us soothe ourselves in more shaky, energetic, frenetic ways. So soothing doesn't have to be calm. You can shake it out if that's what your subconscious is asking of your body. And after you've taken care of yourself, you're more willing to pay attention to your environment. That's when we're going to try bridging to our environment with some spoking, which has a straight line symbol, or some arcing. It's easiest to do this with our arms. We'll start there and then expand to other body parts. So spoking is when you have a straight line in space that connects from yourself to maybe something imaginary. There's nothing in the air right there except for the air, but it could connect to something real. It's very good for pointing things out. And arcing is also a line, but it's a curved line. And we already have done some of those rainbow shapes. Those are curved arcs. And you're still connecting to something, whether it's imaginary and no one else can see it, or it's a real object in the real space you're in. You connect to things with arcs or curved lines. And again, it's easiest to do this with our arms, but try to put it into your head, something in your trunk or your pelvis, or even in your feet and legs. Those body parts are capable of spoking and arcing as well. When you connect to an object with spoking and arcing, you're really just connecting to the surface of that object. We're not quite at hugging, squeezing our object just yet, but we can get there in just a moment. our third way of relating is called shaping. Some people call it carving, and it's more three-dimensional. So again, I'll relate to something imaginary. Instead of just relating to myself or bridging to it, after I bridge to it, I can adapt to it and have it adapt to me. So if you have a pillow or a stuffed animal nearby, an object like that is really helpful because you can adapt to it and it can adapt to you. Sometimes pets are good for this as well. Something with a little squish. Try allowing your body to change because you're interacting with this object. So you're not hugging like a stiff robot. That would be like spooky and archy. But you're really allowing your torso to change. Your pelvis, your head might move. Your lungs might change their shape. And this is a great way to take care of something and show care. Let's put our objects down and see if we can shape in this space with imaginary pillows and friends and stuffed animals, that we are changing them and being changed by them. This brings up a lot of curves, twists. It helps to breathe so you can still keep yourself involved. Nice. All right, let's come back to our screens. Let's look at these terms. Pick up your colorful chart, and maybe some of these modes of shape change feel like a particular color to you. If you associate any one of these with one of these 6 colors, draw that symbol or write that word onto your color chart. And again, you can pause the video if you need more time. For me, and you can choose differently. This is where we're going to start to create a dance, and my dance might look different from your dance. But for me, red feels very much like shape flow, relating to myself because I'm so inspired by the heart. And orange feels like spoking because I was so interested in hands and direct and quick. So they're like direct, quick spokes. For me, yellow, playing with balance, brings out a lot of arcing. Green, plants can grow in different pathways, straight or curved. So I feel like spoking or arcing for green. Blue also feels like arcing to me, but very different arcs than the yellow arcs, because yellow is like playing with balance for me, and blue is more light, and the arcs keep changing directions because everything's so fluid or airy. And then purple is a time where I really get into shaping, adapting to my environment, and asking my environment to adapt to me as that rotational celestial being. If you can have different answers, that's fine. I do want everyone to generate one short movement for each one of these colors. So we're going to make a 6-part dance. And you can finish your dance in rainbow order: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. You could start somewhere else and cycle around in a different way. You could go in any order, but another color of pencil could be helpful to you so that you can mark which one you want to be first. Let's generate the movement first, and then we'll come back and put them in order. I'll give you some time for that. But if you have a strong feeling of order as we go, you can mark as you go. So let's go in rainbow order to make them up, and then we can change the order if you want. So starting with red, you can take what was inspiring for red for you, or one of those shape terms, or what's inspiring to me about red. And I just want you to make one brief movement. You can think about it being like 4 counts or 1 or 2 seconds. How can you be red? And try that movement. And then if you want to edit it so you like it a little better, you can do that too. And if you have a really good memory, just hold on to it into your mind. But if you want to draw a symbol or highlight something on your sheet that will help you remember, this is the red thing I'm going to work on in my red. That's good. And moving on to orange. Pick one brief orange movement that you've done before that you liked, or something I offered. And then do your orange movement again so you can remember it. Hold it in your mind, or write something about it on, or draw something about it on your paper. And moving on to yellow. What did you associate with yellow? What do I associate with yellow? What mode of shape change do you want to use for yellow? Try that movement again so you can really remember it, maybe edit it, maybe write or draw about it. All right, let's pause here before we move on to those other 3 cool colors. Really quickly, remember what your red movement is. And your orange movement. And your yellow movement. And put those in your filing cabinet, whether it's brain or paper. And we're going to move on to green. Again, you could pause this video if you need more time with something. What do you associate with green? What was your favorite green movement of the day? What kind of relationship does it have with things around it? What level do you want to be on? Practice green one more time. Maybe write or draw about green. And moving on to blue. What's one of your favorite bluish movements from today? What kind of relationship do you want to have with your environment or yourself when you're blue? And do blue one more time so you remember it, maybe write or draw about it. And moving on to purple, our final movement creation of the day. What's your favorite purplish thing from today? Do you want to use something I shared with you? How do you want to relate to the space, to yourself with purple? Do it again to remember it, write or draw to remember it. And before we put all 6 in an order, let's just do the last 3 one more time. So remember your green. Remember your blue. Remember your purple. And decide if you want to go in the rainbow order, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, or if you want to make up a new order. And I would encourage you to write numbers on your 6 rectangles so you remember your order. If you want to try it in your body as you write it down and then put it in your body, either one is okay. I'm going to show you my colorful dance for today. And my order is kind of in rainbow order, but more like a color wheel. I'm going to start with green and then go to blue and purple and then loop back around to red, orange, and finish with yellow. All right. Here's my green. Into blue. Into purple. Into red. Into orange. Into yellow. That's my end. So you can use my order or make up your own order. Take one more moment to decide your order and then we'll all go together. And I have some music to share that has a lot of different qualities in it, so hopefully it's supportive of what you've created. Okay. Starting with your first color. And your red moving on. Beautiful. All right. Can we do that one more time and I'm going to watch? And I'm not going to say first color what number you're on. You're just going to change as you're ready. Okay, here comes the music again. I think it's really nice to make a beginning shape so you're not starting your dance out of nothing, but think about, are you going to relate more to yourself or your environment and how in that first color, and then make a still shape that's supportive to get into that. And then if you could also end in stillness so that I know that your dance is done. Here we go. right, everybody, those were so beautiful. Let's stand tall like a spoke and arc down and roll up tall. Yes, and give yourself a hug that's shaping. Do something that feels good for yourself to thank yourself. That's shape flow. Thank you so much for creating colorful dances. And if you're watching this on the internet, you saw 6 versions of a colorful dance today, mine and my 5 friends that are Crush Kids dance teachers. If you make a colorful dance, we'd love for you to share it with the world. Color makes the world more beautiful, and your dancing makes the world more beautiful. Crush Kids Dance is on Facebook and on TikTok, so you could share your dance there. And if you can type the order that your colorful dance goes in, that would be exciting, so we can think about what you think about which color.